6-year-old man has been charged with the murder of a health insurance executive who was shot dead in a street in New York last week. Luigi Mangione.
Murder suspect Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione.
And to those who think this shooter is a hero, what would you say to them?
The shooting of United Healthcare's CEO Brian Thompson has caused widespread debate, not just in America, but across the entire world. The debate, however, isn't on gun control or crime in America. It's about something entirely different, and it's on healthcare, specifically healthcare insurance. And while everyone knows the healthcare system in America is a bit of a mess, and even admitted by healthcare agencies themselves, not many know exactly how many Americans it impacts and why, until we've seen the reactions to the CEO of the largest healthcare insurance agency in America. But before I get into that, let's start from the beginning. On the morning of 4th of December 2024, the CEO of the biggest health insurance company in America, Brian Thompson, was on his way to attend an annual investors meeting for the company. However, just as he was about to enter, he was shot and murdered in cold blood outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel. The killer, described initially as just a white man wearing a mask to hide his identity and wearing a light brown jacket, shot Thompson 3 times with a 9mm pistol from behind at point blank range, hitting his back and leg. He had been waiting for his victim in a Starbucks for several minutes, knowing where he would be and at what time. While conveniently Brian had no security with him, which isn't exactly normal or routine for a high-profile CEO to be left without security in a high-crime neighborhood or city like New York, especially after it was revealed by his wife that they had been receiving death threats prior to his assassination. With each shot, the assassin manually cycles the gun, which indicated it was either a modified suppressed weapon or simply malfunctioning after each shot. After successfully shooting and killing his victim, the killer fled the scene on an e-bike, leaving 3 bullet cartridges at the crime scene. All 3 were found to have the engravings delay, deny and depose, seemingly associated with the medical insurance industry, signifying the company's efforts at avoiding claim payouts, symbolizing the killer's possible motives. However, even after making this escape, the killer made a crucial mistake by pulling down his mask to flirt with a member of staff at the youth hostel he had originally checked in at. Without knowing, this moment had just allowed his face to be all over national news that would eventually lead to his arrest. That's when only days later, on the 9th of December, a McDonald's regular recognized him eating in a fast food restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and told a member of staff who called the police on him. When he was questioned, he was apparently shaking, which was evident when they found fake IDs on him, $8,000 in cash, as well as his manifesto, and a ghost gun, which is an untraceable firearm made from 3D printing the parts and having a lack of a serial number, which means it can't be tracked. Once they arrested the suspect, that's when things got even crazier. The suspect charged with his murder is this guy, Luigi Mangione, an Ivy League graduate from Maryland and gifted prodigy of a wealthy Italian family, and instead of being vilified by the public, he became celebrated, many even hailing him as a hero.
Down.
Luigi. Oh my God, that's completely out of touch. And the insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
From what we already know about him, he's an avid reader and has a plethora of books that he possibly owns. With the reading list viewable on Goodreads, he is evidently a fan of people like Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber, who's notoriously known for the letter bombings of targets he believed to advance modern technology, and wrote about a revolution against the impending doom in his manifesto. And soon after Luigi's arrest, that's when the internet got busy and started digging up everything they could on him. On a banner of his X account, formerly known as Twitter, Luigi has a picture of the Pokemon character Breloom alongside an X-ray image of his purported back surgery that he had in 2023 after an accident. to which his friends say caused him agony and a change ever since mentally, and the NYPD has been investigating to see if this is a possible motive for the killing of Brian Thompson. It's not exactly sure what breloom represents, but some have speculated that it could be to do with the Bible quote Proverbs 2:8-6. The police are investigating all his motives as they are going along with this. We know he's intelligent, we know that he likes to leave clues, we know he wants to leave a message. So we're not too sure, but everything is out in the open at this point, and everything's a possibility. So how did someone who committed murder become the symbol of an anti-establishment movement and sparked one of the biggest debates across America that has united both Democrats and Republicans in America on a topic that clearly affects everyone, given the responses that has come to light? Well, it's no secret that American healthcare is an absolute mess. It's a minefield of red tape, bureaucracy and complex laws that already empties barrels of stress on the public that are already dealing with the stress of getting their health sorted out by the healthcare system, and with the complex laws around healthcare insurance and the loopholes that healthcare insurance agencies can use to get out of paying said insurance customers, means that not everyone gets paid what they should be getting paid for their healthcare cover. And that's where United Healthcare really had the spotlight shone on them.
Shareholders of your publicly traded
So
company.
to deny people who need healthcare, healthcare is how you make the company profitable.
Precisely,
While
yeah.
at the same time getting them to continue to pay.
Yes.
So convince you to pay them money and then not help them when they need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill that motherfucker.
It turns out that United Healthcare declines more than 32% of claims, which is more than double the industry average, which is absolutely insane. It's no wonder that people didn't really care when the CEO was killed, given that people were affected by these decisions that were made by the CEO, including the employment of an AI algorithm, which unfortunately declined a lot of claims with a 90% error rate, which was under investigation, as was the CEO for possible insider trading. So there was a lot of stuff that was going on within this healthcare insurance company that is now coming to light. And on the topic of healthcare within America, we know that healthcare costs are absolutely extortionate. They are beyond unreasonable. There's no comparison to other countries in terms of cost. That means Americans in particular are caught in a rock and a hard place because they can't afford the care, and the insurance companies are declining their claims, which then pits the customer of the insurance company, the patient, and their doctor against each other, because the doctor doesn't really have control, given that they need to go for prior authorization, which can also get declined, and then the patient is then delayed their treatment, which then results in really bad consequences to their health, even death, which has happened. Anything from cancer to high blood pressure can be worsened just because of the way this system works, simply by delaying their treatment or outright refusing to help. After paying into a health insurance company that is supposed to help them when they want to make a claim, only for the healthcare insurance company to go, sorry, the computer says no. It's not exactly a system that's working, and whether we like to admit it or not, everyone in the world is talking about this and how Americans are now in a position where the subject is now openly talked about. And that could be thanks to what Luigi Mangione allegedly did. And that's why people are calling him a hero, and not just because of killing the CEO of a allegedly corrupt company. He's brought to light the entire corruption of the healthcare industry, the insurance companies specifically. And while insurance companies prioritize profits over people, hospitals and pharmaceutical companies have set unbelievably high prices for care and treatments, which leaves Americans in complete disarray without many options. They're disenfranchised, and understandably they're upset. However, the comments are very telling of what the American system is like. In an already struggling economy, this leaves them at the mercy of the insurance companies that they desperately pay into every month. And that's, it's a very expensive thing to do, given that medical insurance is not cheap in America. And in a struggling economy, not just in America but worldwide, this causes big problems for American citizens, especially as medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy for Americans. and it's not going to get any better if no one acknowledges it. And there's videos coming out by doctors that explain that they have contracts with the insurance providers, and they explain that they can have their payments withheld by the insurance companies even after getting authorization. And on top of that, the insurance companies can then also claw back the money they've already paid if they say that they've overpaid, for example, without the doctor's permission. So doctors are unhappy, patients are unhappy, and yet the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies are laughing all the way to the bank, making billions, while people are getting screwed over left, right and center. This shows why both the left and the right in America have come together on a topic that clearly affects everyone. So there's a number of things to note about why people hail Luigi Mangione as a hero. It's because he didn't just kill a CEO. It's not just a class war phenomenon. It's the fact that he did something what people deemed necessary in order to get attention to a topic that wouldn't have been changed. Healthcare insurance companies are already making changes like Blue Cross, and this is only going to progress further as many have shone a light to the problems of the health insurance agencies, which no one has really been able to talk about, or news companies haven't really brought to light, as mainstream media has completely neglected the fact that this is affecting so many Americans across the entire country.
At the end of the day, what it's leading to is the frustration of the users of healthcare, and everybody's affected by healthcare. They should be coming out now saying, look, we get it. We have families too. We're people. We have children. We care about what you think about, and we're going to automate this process and make it better, or do whatever they have to. That when you appeal a case, it's not a delay situation. And if you have a valid claim, you get paid out. That's what insurance is supposed to do. But putting a fence around headquarters, hiring more security guards, that's all bad imagery, Wolf. It's all bad, and it's not the right answer.
And while we should never condone the killing of an individual, this has become a big turning point for America and its healthcare system. They believe he's given them a voice, and we see people pointing out the crimes and the deaths that these healthcare insurance agencies are responsible for, and people don't really care that this CEO was killed.
Before we talk about how great this guy is, can we just talk about how horrible the CEO was? Because that will give us a little bit more.
Which isn't because he's a CEO of a company, it's because he's a CEO of a health insurance company that has committed pretty bad crimes. It's denied healthcare treatment for people that are sick and in pain. Some have died as a result. They need the care, and when healthcare insurance agencies reject the ability to help them after the people have paid into it, where do people go? They have nowhere to go other than getting into debt and bankruptcy, which is shown why the majority of Americans get into bankruptcy in the first place is because of medical debt. It's a vicious cycle, and it's not helping anyone. But let me know your thoughts. I'd like to hear them in the comments.